Hello, and welcome to another episode of Groundwork, giving your business the foundation it needs to grow. My name is Alex.
And I'm Anna.
And today we're going to be talking about elements of storytelling you should be using when making a company video. But before we jump into the tips, we first need to make sure that you know your story.
Everybody has a story, including businesses, and it's more important today than ever to convey your story because I don't know about you, but I feel like my generation has grown up mistrusting a lot of corporations, a lot of businesses. So it's important to know who you are and convey that to your audience. Stories come in many forms for businesses, whether you have a story behind the product you're selling, the services you're providing, the information you're offering. It can span a whole variety of things. So it's important to know who you are and who your demographic is. So Alex, why is video the best way to tell your story?
Great question. You may be thinking, there's a million ways to tell a story. You can do an article, a blog, photographs, but why is video best? Video appeals to the senses. You know, it's a way of mixing the images, the sound, and everything all together to engage people. You want to grab people's attention and you want to hold it. And videos do that better than anything else. It's also a way of drumming up emotions. You know, videos make us feel things. It's either happy, sad, excited, scared, who knows? But it's just, it's a great way of, you know, making those emotions come out in people that you get better than, you know, say an article or a picture. And the real key is to make sure that those emotions that people are feeling are the emotions you want them to feel in the video. Without further ado, let's jump into tip number 1.
There are many techniques used in film, and we're going to take some inspiration from one of our recent favorites and old favorites, Star Wars.
Yes.
So stories don't have to be in chronological order. Often starting in the middle of your story is the most engaging, and then you can go into the intro and then conclusion. Event videos are one of the best ways to use this technique, and it's actually called in media res. Instead of showing like setting up and, you know, the whole crew putting the plates and all that stuff down, to your film footage of the event itself. You're seeing the people, the music, the energy that the event brings. It's more engaging to actually see the event itself.
That's right. I mean, sometimes the beginning of the story isn't the most important or most entertaining or most engaging, so you just want to jump right into, you know, kind of the meat of what story you're trying to tell. And like you had said, it's great for event videos, whereas you're not going to show the planning and the preparations and the setup of the event. That's boring, and no one wants to see that. You know, I want to see the actual event. I want to see, you know, the cool speaker that was going on, the great music that was playing, or, you know, the fun people that were there. And that's a great way of using in media res, jumping right into the middle of the action into a company video. Here's an example of a great event video that jumps you right into the action.
So that was a great example of how video can show your event, and it shows the energy of the event through visuals, it shows it through music, way more than a photograph or a paragraph of text ever can. Tip number 2.
Relating to your audience. And this is something that all storytellers do, especially in films. Think about Michael Bay. He knows that his fans want to see movies with a lot of action in them.
And Megan Fox.
And his stories reflect that. He tells stories that are full of action, explosions, yada, yada, yada. You need to do the same thing when you're telling your company's story. Most people, your audience included, don't want to hear you brag about your own company. It's not something that relates to them. So instead, get someone else to brag about you. That's why we love reviews so much. People, you know, turn to their friends on Facebook, they turn to Yelp, they turn to, you know, any number of things to hear what your company is doing well, what your company is not doing well, and that's why it's great for testimonials.
Mm-hmm. So testimonial videos are a great way of getting your audience to understand how you can help them. So it comes off as more genuine, it's more believable, so it's a great video opportunity to really express who you are and how you're helping the very people you're selling to.
When you're making a testimonial video, you want to make sure that the person on camera is relaxed and comfortable. The lights are good. There's no other noise going on. Otherwise, you come off a little bit awkward. like this.
Yeah, I mean, this product was amazing for my skin. It cleared it up in like a day. What was that product called again? So it was just really great, and
Excuse me.
I really enjoyed working with the company. They tailored to my needs, and that's it.
That was terrible, and no one wants to be associated with that company. This actually leads us to tip number 3, which is a little conflict never hurts.
When we say conflict, we don't mean start having a fist fight in front of the camera. Conflicts are a natural part of every story, and every business goes through them. So if you convey conflict in your video, your audience will feel empathy for you, because that's what normal people go through. So it's important to touch on that very humanistic aspect of a story.
Now, a conflict can be used either directly in the video, or it can be the reason behind the video. And that's why they're great for culture videos.
Culture videos are a great way to expose the environment of your company. So this can be used for recruiting top-tier talent, or just showing your audience who you are. And this is an example of something you do not want to do.
If you were to make a culture video about your company, showing a happy work environment, nice friendly bosses, friendly employees, happy cheery music, all the lights are on, it's going to make it seem like a place that you actually want to work, like this.
I want to work there.
You do.
Of course, every great story has an end, including this vlog.
Let's go over those 3 tips again. First things first, you got to know your story. If you don't know your story, these tips won't help. Tip number 1, start in the action. Get to the meat of your story and don't mess around with anything else. Tip number 2, relate to your audience. That goes back to knowing your story and knowing your audience. And tip number 3, don't be afraid of a little conflict. Not a fist fight on camera, but a little conflict never hurts. And with that, thanks for watching another episode of Groundwork.
Subscribe to our channel and leave your likes, your comments. Any feedback helps us out a lot.
My name is Alex.
And I'm Anna.
We'll see you next time.